Yeah, it's a good answer by Bernie Sanders, and where he says, "Look, I'm gonna fight the other guys."
Just let it happen.
Okay, and I'm gonna put pressure on them by putting political pressure on them. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You don't do it by playing patty cakes with them.
No, I think you ask them really nicely over and over for 8 years.
Yeah, well, that's certainly the way that they went. So I talked to Bill Burton about this, who was in the White House with President Obama. He was his deputy press secretary and then ran his super PAC. I talked to him at Politicon. That interview's not yet up, but it will be soon on TYT Interviews. And they all largely admit, it was the wrong attitude to try to get Republicans to try to play nice.
Yeah.
It didn't work, wasn't going to work. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
Aren't you shocked, Cenk, that they thought that?
Well, that's what I asked them.
And
I said, did you guys really think that? It's shocking that you thought that.
Yeah, like
I would
how
say
could
devil's
they
advocate.
could be dumber than the guy who fixes my cable TV. I mean, everybody knew that they weren't gonna. But the people whose job it was to do. Was it because Barack Obama was a one-term senater and he really didn't know? But he had other people around. I mean, Jesus Christ, I knew it.
Right. I think that part of the answer that he gave was, President Obama won on the campaign promise of trying to bring people together. So he's trying to bring them together.
Okay. And also,
so
I think best case scenario,
6-year shot.
Best case scenario, he would have had a hard time getting them to concede on much of anything. But to be fair, I think that that was a period of dramatic change for the Republicans, where they've been getting steadily more extreme and obstructionist over the course of the past decade or longer. But that was an acceleration of it that I don't think anyone in politics or in media expected to happen. The development of the Tea Party, them rapidly becoming a significant force, amongst Fox News and other right-wing media. I think that he was always going to have a hard time, but immediately after he was elected, it became significantly more difficult, both on the grassroots level and in Congress under the Senate and the House. I think it became rapidly more difficult in that time period.
I think the problem was that
and they didn't adapt to it quickly enough.
Yes, there was
which is
all
still
those
their
things,
fault.
but the biggest problem was that he didn't give the Republicans any room to compromise, right? He proposed their freaking ideas. So now they have to oppose them. Now they're opposing their own ideas. They got nothing left to give back. So that was a big tactical mistake. You should have proposed liberal Democratic ideas, and then you could have met. Then they could have proposed Romney Care, and then we could have met in the middle. But that's not what happened. He goes out and proposes Republican ideas, and so there's nowhere for. He made them more radical. The more Democrats move to the right, the farther the right has to move to the right. And that's what's happening right now.
So that's a great point. But now back to the debate, and I got us derailed on the Obama administration. But I agree with all you guys. I think Hillary Clinton, I think this is what you and John and Ben were saying at least. Hillary Clinton got started strong, but then has faded a little bit. I don't mean faded energy-wise. I think her energy
That's been going up lately, at least.
Yeah, her energy's great. She still had some good lines, in the latter part of the debate, but overall, not as strong a performance in the middle as she did in the beginning.
I thought her best answer was when she said no. I don't want to respond to the.
I think that if you generally are in favor of her, I think that this is a solid performance for her. But in terms of invigorating new voters, convincing people to switch from Bernie to her, no, I think that Bernie Sanders is making a case for actual leadership, for sticking by your principles, and I think you might say that she should get some credit for the fact that she isn't misrepresenting some of her positions. She's willing to admit that she's not. Even though she calls herself a strong progressive that bows down to no one, on the actual policy, she's making clear that she's perfectly happy standing to the right of those candidates. But I don't think that's going to inspire a lot of Bernie supporters to switch over to her.
But she might not need that.
Yeah, she might very well not need it. But all of the instant polls,
over to him?
The instant polls are all saying overwhelmingly that he's winning at this point. Something like 72% of respondents are saying Bernie Sanders is winning.
I wish you hadn't told me that because
Well, that was who knows? It was on the internet.
Right.
But
No. I mean, I'm glad you're telling the audience. Okay, but that was my sense of it.
Yeah.